Mic check, 1, 2. Sounds good.
And now they introduce the starting lineup for your Flagler College Saints. Starting at one guard position, a 5'10" senior from Greensboro, Georgia. Number 2, Destiny.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Flagler College Gymnasium here in St. Augustine on the campus of Flagler College. John Phillips here to bring you Saints basketball. The women's team has their home opener tonight. After 2 games on the road up in South Carolina, the Saints will entertain Embry-Riddle from Daytona Beach, as the Eagles have made the short 1-hour drive from Daytona Beach north here to St. Augustine. Let's meet the starters. First for the visitors from Embry-Riddle. It'll be Mary Langeman at 1 forward, 5'11" junior from Imlay City, Michigan. She's joined by Kaylee Turpening, a 5'8" junior from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. On the wing is Madison Jean Louis, a 5'7" senior from Grand Prairie, Texas, along with Kira Hahn, a 5'8" sophomore from Firestone, Colorado. And playing inside tonight for the Eagles from Elk Ridge, Maryland, 5'10" junior, number 33, Lori Satchel. Eagles took a road trip to Alabama and got wins over Auburn University, Montgomery, and Montevallo, and they enter the game at 2-0 under the direction of head coach Lisa Wilson. Flagler College 1-1 on the road trip to South Carolina. The Saints come in here for the home opener, and the starting lineup will have Destiny McClendon, a 5'10" senior from Greensboro, Georgia, joined by Sherelle McCormick, a 5'10" senior from North Lauderdale, Florida, Dane Bertolina, a senior from Charlotte, also at 5'10", Marley Smith, also 5'10", a junior from Auburn, Illinois. And finally, Sayla Reddick, a 5'8" senior from Jacksonville. That makes up the Saints' starting 5. Opening tap in the air, controlled by the Saints. They're under the direction of head coach Mo Smith. Saints, of course, wearing the home white uniforms. Eagles are in the dark jerseys with the gold numbers. Straight man-to-man defense here thus far, and the ball is kicked by one of the Embry-Riddle players out of bounds. It'll slow down the Saints briefly here. They'll have it underneath their own basket. Still 17 on the shot clock, so plenty of time for the Saints. Kick it out on the perimeter, and then go back to the corner, and then work the wings. Pull-up jumper from the elbow is off the mark. Rebound to Turpening for Embry-Riddle. Langeman runs the floor, gets ahead of the pack, catches the ball down low, up and under and kicked out to Kira Hahn for 3. Too strong. Lori Satchel rips down a rebound, kicks it out to Jean Louis. Around to Turpening, and the Embry-Riddle team will reset it here. Turpening off the Satchel screen, looks for Langeman. She catches, goes in and kicks to Jean Louis. 3-ball far side, going to come up short for the Eagles. Another offensive rebound, stick back by Langeman, no good. But the Eagles have drawn a foul. 2 big offensive rebounds, and now a foul. Looking for the signal. I think it's on number 2. Yeah, Destiny McClendon. She'll pick up her first, and it'll send Mary Langeman to the free throw line. Langeman, 13 points and 7 rebounds per game here in the first 2 games of the year. And the first free throw is online, but very short, and clangs off. The Eagles still looking for their first point. Second one also very short off the front of the rim. The Eagles go 0 for 2, and we're still scoreless here in St. Augustine. Bertolina drops for Reddick. Little dribble interchange. Pull-up jumper on the way. Rattles around and drops in for Sherelle McCormick. The Saints have drawn first blood. McCormick with a jumper. She's averaging 10 points a game. Pretty balanced scoring by the Saints thus far through the first 2 games of the year. Backdoor cut to Satchel. Nice look from Turpening. Really good play there. The Eagles tie it up 2 apiece. Saints waste no time going coast to coast. Attack the basket from the left side for a runner that is good from Destiny McClendon. Lob for Satchel. Catch and a foul. I think it's going to go on McClendon for her second. Wait for the official announcement. Yeah, it is on McClendon. That's 2 quick ones here. We haven't even played 2 minutes, and she's got 2 fouls. She's going to have to be careful. Saints do go to the bench, but not for McClendon. They get Marley Smith out And the replacement is Lainey Norika, 6-foot sophomore out of Newville, Pennsylvania. Satchel's first free throw is no good. Didn't even make it to the rim. She got one more coming. Second one is much better. Makes it a 1-point game. Saints 4, Eagles 3. 8:15 to go first half. Here come the Saints, wasting no time. Pounded inside, poked away by Satchel, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Saints. Put the shot clock on 22, I think is what the referee signaled. It says 20. And yeah, they'll get it to 22. Got it. 8:07 on the game clock instead of 8:05. Looking down low, nobody there. Has to kick it all the way out here to Bertolina. She works against Kira Hahn, and Hahn gets the steal. Ahead of the pack for Lengeman. She'll catch, dribble against 2 defenders, get it blocked, and then loose on the floor. Satchel's after it, and we got a held ball. Possession arrow favors the Eagles after Flagler got the opening tap. Coach Wilson lobbying that Lengeman was fouled. No whistle from the referee. So the Eagles will keep it. Into Turpinning, guarded tightly there by Selah Reddick. Satchel back to Turpinning, a catch and shoot 3 ball. Off the heel of the rim, no good, but Satchel chases the long rebound down. Back to Turpinning, dribble drive, looks for the backdoor cutter, not there. Kicks it back over to the near side here to Jean Louis. Step back, no, she's going to go to Satchel. Back out, shot clock on 7. Step through floater by Turpinning, no good, but a foul on the Saints. I think it's on Norika. It is on Norika, her first, team's third. Saints go to the bench here for Jessica Dowdy, junior out of Augusta, Georgia. And she also brings Jasmine Major into the game with her. Turpinning's first free throw ties it up. Her second gives Embry-Riddle the lead. First time the Eagles have led tonight. 5-4 Embry-Riddle. Early on here between the Eagles and the Saints. Bertolina drops for Major. Post feed in, poked away by Satchel, and here come the Eagles. And we got a foul on the Saints. Satchel got the steal, and then Norika tried to get it back and got called for the foul. So that's going to be 2 on Norika. She and McClendon each have 2, and it's 4 on the Saints. Next foul will be a 2-shot situation here in the first quarter for Embry-Riddle. And there's still 7 minutes and 11 seconds to go. The Eagles have yet to commit a foul. Saints stay man-to-man. Here comes Turpinning, front court. Drops it off for Anya Staton. Now Hahn, a pull-up jumper from 18 is no good. Rebound to the Saints. Saints race the other way. Bertolina left wide open for 3. It's off the mark, no good. And a rebound for Staton. She'll find Turpinning. Turpinning, a true point guard, runs the show for the Eagles. Looks inside for Lengeman. Kick it out to Hahn. Pump fake. Couple dribbles from 15. It's good for Kira Hahn. She made a bunch of 3-pointers in the first game up in Alabama and has struggled so far from long distance tonight. But the Saints answer back with 3 of their own. That was Bertolina. She was wide open last possession and missed. That time she was actually pretty well guarded and made it. Post feed to Staton is too strong, but the Eagles fight to get it back. John Louis ends up with it. Back out to Turpinning, and the Eagles will reset it. Turpinning heads right with the ball screen. Pump fake, dribble drive, takes it in and scores it inside. Nice job there by Turpinning. Saints race the other way. Here's Bertolina again. Tried to bank that one home. Saints rebound, take it inside for a runner that's no good. Rebound loose on the floor, still being fought for, and Langeman ends up with it as bodies fly everywhere at the far end of the floor. Going to call a tripping foul. Guess it's going to be on Embry-Riddle. The Eagles came out of there with the basketball, but they called the foul on Madison Jean-Louis. Her first, team's first. It'll be Saints basketball. Inbound the ball down low for the Saints. Look for a backdoor cutter. Shot's no good. Rebound fought for. And Kira Hahn ends up with it. Tries to go ahead of the pack. An errant pass. It's knocked out of bounds by the Saints. Almost stolen there by McCormick. Instead, the Eagles will keep it front court. Saints have gone to the bench. Got Carly Grimm in the game. So lots of subs out there for Flagler. Eagles have 4 of their 5 starters still on the court. And to the bench for Aspen Weeks. Into Turpinning with 24 on the shot clock. Eagles lead at 11-7. Langeman backs down, drops off for Staton. Her little floater is short, no good. Rebound to the Saints. A little bit of a forced shot that time, and here comes Flagler. Penetrate and try to pitch, but got it stolen by Hahn. She's going to race the other way in a 1-on-3, and then the Saints almost stole it and then save it to Langeman, and then here come the Saints the other way. Now runner out is a bucket for Flagler by Sherelle McCormick. I thought the Saints were out of bounds on the far end of the court when they stole the basketball, but referees let them continue play, and the Eagles take it in for a backdoor cutter for Turpinning and take it back to a 4-point lead. 13-9 Embry-Riddle. Action-packed first few minutes here in St. Augustine. Deflection inside, picked up by the Eagles. Turpinning ends up with it. She's got a host of players to look for, and she's looking for Langeman, can't find her. Go to Sarah Napoli instead on the left-hand side. Napoli off the dribble. She's going to go dribble, drive in, float, and rattle it around and knock it home. Sarah Napoli's first bucket, 5'5" senior out of Orlando. Saints back the other way. Aya triple from the top of the circle, no good. Napoli after a rebound. Can't control it, but Langeman does. Eagles by 6 with the basketball, under 4 to go. First quarter. Turpinning's got some space. Take it all the way to the basket off the left side and lays it up and in. Biggest lead of the night for Embry-Riddle, 17-9 to the Eagles. And that should be a held ball, I believe. Yes, it is. Nice job by Turpinning to reach in there against Aspen Weeks. Aspen Weeks tried to split 2 defenders. Turpinning reached in and grabbed the basketball with both hands. They call a held ball. Possession arrow favors the Saints, so the ball will stay at this end of the court. However, we've got our first media timeout of the first half. It's 17-9 in favor of Embry-Riddle. Eagles 17, Saints 9 at the 3:38 mark. First quarter here in St. Augustine. Women's basketball home opener for the 24-25 season here between Flagler College and Embry-Riddle. 2 big rivals back during the NAIA days when they were both in the Sun Conference. And before that, it was the Florida Sun Conference. And as of several years back, the Saints moved to the Peach Belt. The Eagles later followed to Division II, joining the Sunshine State Conference. And while the rivalry really hasn't renewed because it's not a conference matchup, great to see these 2 teams doing battle on the basketball court once again. The sounds in the background are the Flagler Pep Band doing a great job once again tonight. They were here for both games of the men's tournament over the past weekend, along with Monday night's win over Spring Hill. And the Saints men will take their first road trip of the season. They'll go down to Daytona Beach and return the favor as the Flagler men and the Embry-Riddle men will meet tomorrow night. 6:30 tip-off down in Daytona Beach. Coach Blake Sellen's team is a perfect 3-0 on the year. And they'll hit the road for the first time against the Eagles. So Saints basketball, 21 on the shot clock. They start from under their own basket. Looking inside for the trigger, can't find it. Come to Grimm at the top of the circle. Now back to Reddick. Back to Grimm. Handed off left side. Three-point attempt on the way is off the heel of the rim. No good. And the rebound fought for and controlled by the Saints. Reddick takes it in, kicks it out. Another long three ball is off the mark. This rebound picked up by the Eagles. Brasco's got it, and she is fouled. That's Alyssa Brasco. Just entered the game at that last stoppage. A local player out of Central Florida. She's a Bishop Moore graduate and calls Apopka home. Brasco, a 6-foot sophomore, averaging 9 points per game coming in through the first 2 games of the year. And she is the recipient of the Saints' 5th team foul of the first quarter. So she will get 2 free throws, even though it was a non-shooting foul. And the left-hander eyes the rim and knocks it home. 18-9. Eagles got the Saints doubled up right now. And the lead is double figures. 19-9 Embry-Riddle at the 3:11 mark of the first quarter. Reddick drops for Grimm. Back over left-hand side, Abby Smith. Takes the drive in for a floater and rattles it home. Nice job there by Abby Smith, the freshman out of Texas. Good body control to not charge into a player who was waiting to draw the charge. She instead popped straight up, able to deliver it and knock home the bucket. Brasco back to Napoli, post feed inside, catch and finish, nicely done. Ball reversal came back this way and they found Anya Staton. Here come the Saints the other way. 3-ball from the baseline corner, off the mark. Napoli's gonna chase, she'll corral it. She's gonna go ahead of the pack for John Louis. She'll catch and look for a trailer. It's Turpening, she finds Staton for the layup. Turpening with great court vision out there, and the Eagles have made it a 23-11 game. Off the left-hand side, here comes Smith. Kick it back out to the left-hand corner for 3. It's off the side of the backboard. Turpening rebounds, finds a bounce pass to Napoli. She'll go ahead of the pack for a runner, and nicely done. I can't say enough good things about Kaylee Turpening right now for the Eagles. It's 25-11. There's a penetrating kick to the left-hand side. Aspen Weeks takes it in. Little turnaround is good. 25-13, Eagles by 12. Embry-Riddle scoring a lot of points here in the first quarter. Here's Turpening again. Wrap around underneath for John Louis. Catch to a double team, back to Turpening, and they'll say she traveled. Little too much traffic there in the paint. And the Saints get it on the Eagles' turnover. Coach Wilson will go to the bench and get Chandler Brooks in for the first time tonight. She will bring Satchel back in the game as well. Brooks, a 5'11 sophomore from Charlotte. Reddick for Weeks, and then around the horn to the left-hand side to Bertolina. Back up high, McCormick. Now Grimm. Now left side over to Weeks. Left baseline, Bertolina. Tries to go off the dribble, can't find space. Post feed down low, turnaround by Grimm. Off the mark, rebound ripped down by the Eagles. Good patience by the Saints, but just couldn't get the shot to go. Brooks will hold the dribble near midcourt. Drop for Satchel. Satchel for Napoli, off a screen for 3. That's off the heel, no good, but Satchel after the rebound, but couldn't control it. Grimm ends up with it, finds Bertolina, who races it front court. To McCormick, skip pass far side, dribble, drop it off, and poked away by Satchel. The Eagles saw that one coming, and Satchel jumped the passing lane and picked it off. 30 seconds as the Eagles clear the timeline. There's Brasco down the paint off the left side, a little too strong, and the rebound is going to be a foul on Satchel. That's only 2 against the Eagles here in the first quarter, so no free throws for the Saints. The shot clock will be turned off, and they'll have 19.6 for the final possession. Embry-Riddle goes to the bench for Kira Hahn to check back in. And the Saints, Reddick will bring it front court with John Louis on her hip. Eagles switching the screens here. They swing it around the perimeter to Bertolina. Game clock to 10. Well defended. Right-hand side looking for the post feed. They will find her with 4, 3, 2. Floater, good. And the Saints get the bucket right before the horn goes off. That one goes to Maria Paula Garcia, the redshirt freshman from Columbia, and she makes it a 10-point game. So the Saints draw the final blow of the first quarter. They make it 25-15. We're through the first 10 minutes of basketball here in St. Augustine. It's been an action-packed first quarter. Embry-Riddle 25, Saints 15. We'll be right back here on the Peach Belt Digital Network. An action-packed first quarter here in St. Augustine. Embry-Riddle leads at 25-15. The Eagles come in averaging 78 points per game, on pace for 100. Saints come in averaging, Embry-Riddle comes in averaging 87, on pace for 100. Saints are averaging 78 and only on pace for 60. But a lot can change here. A lot can change. Just 10 minutes in. Still got 3 quarters of basketball here in St. Augustine. Embry-Riddle will have the possession here at the midcourt area. Brooks at the point guard spot, looks for Satchel. Now inside to John Louis. Her little floater is no good, and the Saints rebound it. They got ahead of the pack, got a player out there. They'll catch it left wing for a pull-up 3. It's off the mark, and Brasco high in the air for the rebound. Hahn goes left. John Louis goes right. Here comes Brooks with the basketball. She'll slow down and get picked up by Bertolina. Here's Satchel. Drops for John Louis. Top of the circle 3. It's good for Madison John Louis, her first triple of the night. Outstanding player, 21.5 points per game, and the scoring leader for the Eagles. Without a doubt. Senior leadership from 23, John Louis. Nice drive inside by the Saints and a good bucket there by Sherelle McCormick. Nice strong move by McCormick. She's averaging 12 a game, and you can see her athleticism on that move right there. Brasco left alone. Her shot is no good, however, and we got a held ball. A couple of players end up with it. 2 from Embry-Riddle, 1 from Flagler. And possession arrow favors the Saints. So they'll flip it back to the Eagles next time. Saints will have it right now. Bertolina drops it off here for Reddick. Try to go over to the corner. Saved in, but saved to the Eagles. Here comes John Louis with the basketball. She's got Brasco with her. Takes it in, gets it stripped, and no foul called. It'll stay with Embry-Riddle. Good defense there by Reddick. John Louis was looking for a foul, but referee said nope, she got the ball. Brooks will trigger, looking inside, nobody there. Goes corner to Hahn. Guarded there by McClendon. Now off to Satchel. Here's John Louis again, same spot she was last possession for a 3-ball. Spin move, kick to Satchel, pump fake, step through runner. Nice move there by Lori Satchel, the junior out of Elk Ridge, Maryland. Basically Baltimore. It's a suburb there of Baltimore. Here's Garcia. Now Reddick. Now Bertolina. Calls for Garcia. Poked away. Picked up here by Satchel. Good defense by Brooks. Satchel gives it back to Brooks. She'll go cross court to Hahn, corner to John Louis. Maddie's going to go baseline to a double team. Who's open? She ends up getting it knocked out of her hands, but picks it up. Here's Brasco, squares a 3 ball. It's good. Excellent ball movement by Embry-Riddle. John Louis got tied up. She found Brooks. Brooks found Brasco, and that's great ball movement there. And Coach Moe says, I've seen enough. We got to take a timeout here. Embry-Riddle has extended the lead to 16 points. It's Embry-Riddle 33, Saints 17 at the 7:36 mark, and Coach Moe Smith is going to take a timeout here, try to slow things down just a little bit. Saints are doing a good job collapsing inside, but maybe too much of a collapse into the paint. They're leaving the perimeter open. John Louis made the perfect decision to kick it out to an open player in Brooks, and then Brooks, a very heads-up decision to come all the way back to the near side of the court, right in front of the pep band, to a wide-open Alyssa Brasco, who knocks down the triple. Excellent ball movement by the Eagles, and the Saints are just going to have to not collapse as much. You want to collapse when the ball goes inside, don't get me wrong, but you can't have all 5 players collapse because then the perimeter is open. Eagles 33, Saints 17 at the 7:36 mark. This is the Peach Belt Conference Digital Network. We're live in St. Augustine between Embry-Riddle and Flagler College. I'm John Phillips bringing you all the action tonight from the Clark Family Court. And, of course, Bo Clark, longtime and legendary coach of the Flagler men's basketball program. The court named in his honor, and deservedly so. Longtime coach here in St. Augustine. Saints will bring it front court. Eagles going to jump into a zone. No, they're going to go man, excuse me. Little jumper off the far side is good for the Saints. Destiny McClendon, that's a big bucket for the Saints. Langeman back in for the Eagles. Into Staten, backdoor to John Louis. Poked away, but picked up by the Eagles. Still loose on the floor, and another held ball, it looks like. Flip the arrow back to Embry-Riddle. However, the Eagles need to take note here, and so do the Saints. Only 8 seconds on the shot clock, so not super quick, but the Saints need to be ready to defend right away. Into Langeman. Spins on the baseline, goes up, gets it stripped, and knocked out of her hands by Reddick and knocked off of her knee and out off of Langeman. It'll go to the Saints. Great when you can get the strip, even better when you can knock it off the opposing player's leg out of bounds. McClendon, jumper pull up there by Reddick, no good. Rebound to the Eagles. And we got a foul called on the Saints. I haven't announced it from the far side. I think it went on number 11, Norika. Yeah, that'll be her third. Live stats have updated. Norika's got 3 fouls. Here's John Louis against the man between the circles. Double high post here. Langeman off a screen. Out to Hahn, a quick catch and shoot 3. Off the mark, no good. Rebound Saints. They're going to go quickly, and Hahn will reach in and steal it. She's got Langeman ahead of the pack. Pump fake, floater, blocked. Gets her own rebound, though. Back up, and no good, but a foul. Langeman got her shot blocked by Reddick, but got her own rebound and went up for the second shot and then got fouled.
Falls on number 2, Destiny McClendon.
Fouls on McClendon. That should be her third as well.
Is number 2, Mary Langeman.
So 3 on McClendon, 3 on Norika for the Saints. And they're going to say the foul was on the floor before the shot, so it will not be free throws. It will be Embry-Riddle basketball underneath. Brooks looks to trigger. Pound it in, kick it out. Hahn, an open look. In and out, no good. Rebound to the Saints. Norika rips down the rebound. Goes over to Jasmine Major, who brings it across the timeline. Eagles switch, then switch it right back. John Louis guards Major. Drop for McCormick. Off the right side, runner is too strong, but a foul, and she's going to shoot free throws.
Fouls on number 23, Madison Jean Louis.
Foul goes on Madison John Louis.
Making her way to the foul line for the Saints.
Eagles will get Sarah Napoli back in the game, along with Kaylee Turpinning. McCormick's first free throw is good.
She'll shoot one more.
4 for 8 on the year through the first 2 games. First shot good. Second shot good. Back to a 13-point game, 12-point game, 33-21. Saints a little three-quarter court trap. Hahn and Turpinning able to beat it. Over to Langeman, skip past Napoli. 3 ball on the way is good for Sarah Napoli. Saints went zone, and Sarah Napoli knocked it down. Major dribble and kick over to the right-hand side and trail it back, picked off by Turpinning. 1-on-2, she's going to wait for help. Looks inside, beautifully done by Kaylee Turpinning to find Kira Hahn. 38-21. Major far side working against Hahn. Crossover. Kicks left wing. Pull up 3 ball on the way. Off the mark. Good box out and rebound by Embry-Riddle's number 32. That's Anya Staton. Into Langeman, and she is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. I believe that's going to go on Jasmine Major, the transfer out of Lenore Rhine.
Fouls on number 1, Jasmine Major.
And that should be shooting fouls for Mary Langeman. Staton checks out for the Eagles, and Alyssa Brasco re-enters. Langeman gets the friendly roll that time. 7 for 11 on the year coming in, but she went 0 for 2 earlier in the game. So now 1 for 3 on the night. And that one's short, just like the first 2. So 1 for 4 so far for Langeman. Here's a runner the other way. Coast to coast by Sherelle McCormick. Nobody stopped the ball that time for Embry-Riddle. Napoli trails it back to Turpinning. Post feed to Langeman. Kick it out, Napoli. Catch and shoot 3. Too strong that time. It's an air ball. Rebound to the Saints. Major looking to push and direct traffic. Coast to coast in for a floater. Too strong. Brasco rebounds for Embry-Riddle. Might have tried to do too much that time. Didn't have the numbers, and Eagles race it the other way. Hahn, baseline, drops for Langeman. Floater, too strong. Brasco rebounds. Back up and in for Alyssa Brasco. Good rebound and putback. 41-23. Napoli's going to get a steal. Saw the pass coming and picked it. Looks for a trailer. Finds Turpinning. Turpinning always looking. Finds Hahn. 3 ball far side. Good for Kira Hahn. And, boy, I tell you what. I can't say enough good things. I say exactly what I said a few minutes ago. Kaylee Turpinning is putting on a clinic in how to play point guard right now. Unfortunately for the Saints fans, she's playing for the visiting team, but credit where credit is due. She's got her head up at all times. She's finding open players and creating wonderful opportunities for the Eagles on the perimeter. And Turpinning is having one heck of a night at the office so far tonight. 44-23. Embry-Riddle leads it by 21. And, you know, again, tip of the cap to Kaylee Turpinning, the Embry-Riddle junior out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, is having an absolutely fantastic night through the first 17 minutes of our ball game tonight. Eagles 44, Saints 23. She is creating so many open looks for her teammates. Now, granted, the teammates got to knock those shots down in order for her to get an assist, but she is setting them up so nicely tonight and directing traffic out there and just running the show. Incredibly well done by Turpinning. For the Saints, it's Major and McCormick in the backcourt with Weeks, Abby Smith, and Carly Grimm. Here's Major off to the right-hand side. Finds Abby Smith. Dribble cross court and back up high. There's a drive in and a drop down low. Nicely done that time. Oh, the shot didn't go. Rebound stick back, though, is good. Carly Grimm stays battling. Really nice dribble and drop for Grimm. She didn't hit the first shot, but she did hit the second. There's Turpening. Skip pass far side into Hahn. She corrals it, finds Napoli, finds Turpening. Her three-pointer is no good, and rebound to the Saints. Approaching the 3-minute mark, here comes Flagler. Weeks, good crossover against Brasco. Step through, might have got away with the travel, but got the shot off, no good. Rebound, Embry-Riddle. Turpening's got it. Got Hahn to her right, got Napoli trailing. She'll go to Langeman, who goes Napoli. Back to the top and around the horn. Brasco, left side three. It's an air ball. Napoli saves it in, but they'll say she stepped out of bounds before she saved it, and it'll go to the Saints. Chandler Brooks checks in for Embry-Riddle. She will replace number 24. That's Kira Hahn. 44-25 at the 2:39 mark. Eagles over Saints. Embry-Riddle by 19 over Flagler right now. About 2.5 minutes to go before halftime. And the Eagles, a little miscommunication on the switch there, and the Saints had a wide open look, unable to convert. And ultimately, the Eagles come out of there with it. Napoli, left-hand side. Corner to Turpening. Post feed into Langeman. They go over the back, but no call. Turpening chases down the loose ball. Drops for Brasco. Lob inside to Langeman. Little short, no good. Well defended there by McCormick. McCormick goes left side to Weeks. Weeks will spin baseline against Chandler Brooks and get cut off. Abby Smith eyes the three-pointer. Little short, no good. Langeman rebounds for Embry-Riddle. Across the timeline, finds Napoli right side. Trails it back to Brooks, now Turpening. Down the paint, step through floater. Good for Kaylee Turpening. And then she steals the inbounds pass, and lost it out of bounds. She almost jumped the corner there and stole it from Jasmine Major. Turpening faked like she was just going to get back on defense, and out of the corner of her eye, she was watching the inbounds pass and U-turned it quickly, but couldn't quite get there and get the steal. Here come the Saints front court. Weeks cross court to McCormick. She works against Turpening. Trails it back to Abby Smith for three. That one's off the mark. Rebound knocked out. Last touch by the Saints. That was Carly Grimm who went up over the top to poke it away, but poked it out of bounds. And the ball will go to Embry-Riddle with 1:21 to go before halftime. Saints going to put some pressure on in the backcourt. Into Turpening. They try to double team, and now they'll back off. Turpening a couple behind the back dribbles to clear the timeline. She'll work against Selah Reddick. Off to Satchel. Back to Turpening. Backdoor cut, looking inside. Couldn't find Brooks. Here come the Saints the other way. McCormick picked it off. She goes coast to coast, and they're going to call an offensive foul. McCormick a little bit out of control there. Runs into Lori Satchel and called for the player control foul, and they'll give the ball back to the Eagles. McCormick is so athletic and so quick. She just got going so fast, and unfortunately her momentum carried her into the Embry-Riddle player, and she gets called for the foul. Here comes Brooks across the timeline for Satchel. Looking for Napoli. She'll cut back door, can't find her. Now Turpening off the screen. Dribbles all the way through. U-turns it for Brasco. Off the screen. Step back three for Brasco. A little too strong. Rebound to the Saints. Here comes Reddick. She'll pick it up and race. She finds Abby Smith. Finds a cutter in Grimm. Couldn't get the roll. And the Eagles rebound it with 24 seconds. Unlucky that time. Good look inside for the Saints, but the ball hung on the rim and just trickled off at the last minute. Shot clock turned off. Eagles can hold it for the last shot, but they'll get a backdoor cut by Sarah Napoli. And you can't pass up an open layup, so they'll take it. Saints with 5, 4, 3, 2. Turnaround prayer from the free throw line extended is no good, and that will end our first half. The Eagles put up 48 points to the Saints 25. Embry-Riddle with an outstanding offensive performance here in the first half, and again a tip of the cap to Kaylee Turpening, the Embry-Riddle point guard, who has done a great job managing the floor and quarterbacking the team. Eagles 48, Saints 25. We're at the half here in St. Augustine. We'll take a break and be right back. This is the Peach Belt Digital Network. All right, if I didn't screw anything up, you should be able to hear me. Welcome back to St. Augustine. John Phillips here bringing you Saints basketball. Embry-Riddle came out of the gate swinging tonight. The Eagles put up 48 first half points. They lead the Saints 48-25. Still a lot of time left here for the Saints to rally. Of course, we'll switch ends here in the second half. Saints will work from left to right, and they'll have the basketball first. Reddick drops it off for Grimm, then they go left-hand side. Dribble drive and wrap it around the baseline. Back this way to McClendon. She'll take it inside for a runner, and it's good. And the Saints draw first blood. The Eagles race it ahead of the pack quickly. Find Madison Jean-Louis. Little pump fake shot, no good. Rebound goes to a jump ball. Lori Satchel in there fighting for Embry-Riddle. The Saints had Destiny McClendon. Possession arrow favors Embry-Riddle, so the Eagles will keep it underneath their own basket, still with plenty of time. They raced it quickly front court. There's still 23 seconds. They're into Langeman. She'll spin against Bertolina. Pull-up jumper, rattles around, no good. Rebound Saints. Reddick, left-hand side. Floater off the left wing, good for McClendon. That's exactly what the Saints need. They got 4 quick ones trying to get back in this basketball game after trailing it big in the first half. 45 seconds in, they've got the crowd involved and got a quick 4-0 start. Satchel, Kira Hahn, pull up 3. In and out, no good for Hahn, and the Saints rebound. Reddick works against Hahn in the midcourt area. Takes it coast to coast, stops, turnaround, good. The run is 6-0 for the Saints. 48-31, the lead is 17, and going to get a reach-in foul here. Not only is that a foul, which the crowd doesn't like, I think that's going to be 4 fouls on McClendon. Yeah, the scoreboard is flashing 4 fouls for Destiny McClendon. That's a big loss for the Saints. She got 2 quick ones in the first 2 minutes, got another one later, and now 4 fouls on the night. She'll have to sit 90 seconds into the second half. Backdoor cut for John Louis. A little floater is good, and boy, Kaylee Turpinning does it again. She has had a great night at the point guard spot, and she finds John Louis for a backdoor cutter. Jessica Dowdy off the left side. Skip pass back to the right-hand wing. To Reddick. Nice spin move, but cut off. Help side defense was good by Lori Satchel. For 3 from the wing. Off the mark, no good. Rebound loose, and good hustle there by the Saints. They corral an offensive rebound and drop it off underneath, and the runner is good for Selah Reddick. Saints continue to fight. They have brought the energy here for the second half. Double team in the backcourt, and the pocket has been picked, and a run out is good for Selah Reddick. And Coach Wilson going to take a timeout. The Saints have done everything they were hoping to do coming out of the locker room. They were trailing big at the half. They needed to find a spark. They've created offense through defense, and they have cut into this lead. It's a whole new ball game here in St. Augustine. 50-35. The lead is 15. It was all Embry-Riddle in the first half, but Coach Moe has gotten the Saints fired up and ready to battle here in the second. They have come out swinging and definitely changed the momentum and gotten back into this ball game very, very quickly. It was 48-25 at halftime, so a 10-2 run here by the Saints. in only 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Calming presence from Coach Lisa Wilson for the Eagles as they try to settle in here and regather against this Saints ball club. Into Turpinning, here comes a double team. She's going to keep pushing, gets away from it, coast-to-coast runner. Basket is good by Turpinning. She literally goes coast-to-coast all 94 feet. Not only gets the basket, but she gets fouled.
She was fouled by number 15, Sayla Reddick.
Foul goes on Sayla Reddick.
To the foul line for the Eagles.
And
She'll shoot
Turpinning
one.
has one shot here. And it's good. That's a big momentum swing there and about as good as you could ask for coming out of that timeout. There's Bertolina at the top of the circle. Dribble drive in, backdoor cutter down low, poked away, stolen by Madison John-Louis. She finds Turpinning, goes ahead of the pack for Mary Lengeman. Lengeman trapped and triple teamed. Out to Hahn, around to Turpinning. Pops it over to John-Louis. She pump fakes and passes it up. Shot clock on 14, so she's got plenty of time. Well defended by Sherelle McCormick. Off the screen. Kicks for Turpinning. 3 ball, good. 6 points for Turpinning. A 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and now a long-distance triple. She scored the last 6. Almost a turnover there by the Saints. That 15-point lead has grown to 21 on Turpinning's 6-0-point effort. Saints work in against the baseline there. Looks for a cutter. Goes all the way through. But it's an air ball by the Saints triple. Here's Turpinning ahead of the pack for Hahn. She'll catch, and she'll get fouled by Jessica Dowdy. It almost looked like Hahn slowed down to wait and get fouled. Hopefully, in her case, she was trying to get an and one opportunity, but she got fouled so hard that ball never got anywhere close to the rim. But she will get 2 shots here at the far left-hand side of the court or the east end of the court here at the Flagler College Gymnasium. Hahn, the sophomore out of Firestone, Colorado. 15.5 points per game in the first 2 games of the year coming in. She hits the first free throw and has 1 more coming. She makes them both. Weeks and Major in for the Saints during that stoppage for free throws. Here's Grimm off for Weeks. Right-hand side by herself. Out to Major. Step back jumper going to be short and did not make it to the rim. It'll go to the Eagles. Boy, in a blink of an eye, how momentum can change. The Saints cut it to 15, and now it's back to 23. An 8-0 run for Embry-Riddle. Brasco triggers and makes an errant pass trying to go to Turpinning, and the Saints will be the recipient of an unforced error. Here's Dowdy up high. Drops for McClendon. Off a screen, the Eagles switch it. She'll turn the corner, nice move, reversal. Out to the top of the circle to Dowdy. Couldn't get it off in time. Step through floater, too strong. Rebound to Alyssa Brasco. Brasco, the big, tall 6-footer out of Bishop Moore High School in Orlando. They floated into Satchel. Post feed, too strong, and a late whistle. There looked like there was contact, but just the fact that the whistle was a little bit late, it causes hesitancy mostly from the crowd, which is mostly the men's lacrosse team who didn't like the call. But there wasn't much of an argument from Carly Grimm. She will head to the bench, and the Saints will get Maria Paula Garcia, the redshirt freshman from Columbia, back in the ballgame. And Anya Staton will shoot the free throws. First is perfect. Staton, a sophomore from Easton, Pennsylvania. And she hits both of them. The lead is 25. Saints front court. There's Dowdy with it, top of the circle. Working against Turpinning. Kicks it back out to McClendon. Dowdy, post feed in, and got a reach-in foul on Embry-Riddle. That's going to go against Staton. She tried to reach in and poke it away from Garcia and got her across the wrist. Non-shooting foul, so the Saints should get a reset on the shot clock here. There it is. It was on 8. They got it to 20 now, and they'll trigger from underneath. Look inside, then look to the baseline corner. Back to McClendon. Nice dribble drive. Floater a little off the mark. Rebound tapped, and finally corralled by Embry-Riddle. Turpinning, the point guard, throws it inside to Staton. Post, deep, loses her footing and turns it over. Saints end up with it. No foul called. Here they come the other way. Weeks against Turpinning. Spins and kicks to Dowdy. Swing it over here right side for a three-point attempt. It's good by Destiny McClendon. And Coach Mo wants timeout. Saints went scoreless for quite a bit there, about 4 minutes, when it was 50-35. The Saints had cut it to 15, and Coach Wilson for Embry-Riddle took a timeout. That was at about the 8:47 mark, I think. Maybe it was 7:47 mark. And it was 15, and the Saints had all the momentum. But until that three-pointer right there, they had not scored a point, and the Eagles had scored 10 straight. So the 15-point margin grew to 25. That three-pointer stops the bleeding, but it's still a 22-point cushion for Embry-Riddle. And it's 60-38 in favor of the Eagles. Leading scorer for Embry-Riddle is Turpinning with 16. She also leads the team with 7 assists. For Flagler, 2 players are in double figures. McClendon has 11 and McCormick has 10. But again, McClendon does have 4 personal fouls, so she's going to have to play cautious on the defensive side. And in addition, Lainey Norica for the Saints has 3 personals. She got them all in the first half, played 5 minutes and committed 3 fouls, and we haven't seen her since. So if she does come back, she's going to have to be careful as well. Eagles are shooting the ball quite well at 50% for the night, and the Saints are at 40.5. Embry-Riddle 22 for 44. Saints 17 out of 42. The big difference is the Saints are really struggling from the three-point area. That three-pointer they made is just their second of the night. They're now 2 for 14. They were 1 for 13 prior to that triple by McClendon. Saints will go to their full court press here. Into Staton. Comes cross court to Brasco. She'll clear the timeline, then look for a better ball handler, and they find Turpinning, their point guard. 3 fingers in the air signals the play, and they go to Satchel, and she's fouled from behind. Excuse me, that was Staton, not Satchel. Fouled by Maria Paula Garcia. That is 5 fouls on the Saints according to the scoreboard. That should be a 2-shot situation. With 4:37 left in the quarter, again in women's basketball, there's no 1-and-1. It's not 7 fouls in the half, it's 5 and a quarter. And when you get to 5, it's automatically 2 shots. So 2 here for Anya Staton. And no good on the first. She hit 2 free throws just moments ago. I'm not sure she even drew rim on either of them, but that one was on line, but just too strong. It hit the heel of the rim and came off. Saints have a sub at the table, but must have gotten there too late. They'll have to wait for the second free throw. It's good, and that should be the stoppage the Saints need to get the sub in the game. That's Sherelle McCormick, who will check in for Aspen Weeks. 61-38, Embry-Riddle by 23. Napoli will guard Major here on the near side. Eagles playing straight man-to-man. And we got an offensive foul. Yeah, that's going to go on Garcia. She had set a screen, and then when Napoli went under the screen, she took a couple steps back. I'm not sure if it was intentional, to be totally honest with you, but when she took a couple steps back as Napoli was going under the screen, she just knocked Napoli to the ground. And referee had to call the foul there. When you knock the defender to the ground and you initiate the contact, you're going to get an offensive foul. Unlucky for the Saints, they turn it over. Hahn with Brooks in the backcourt. Brooks, the backup point guard, in there for Turpinning. She's going to go coast to coast for a runner, just a little too strong. Stick back by Staton is good, though. Eagles have had some great offensive rebounding tonight and had multiple second chance point opportunities. McClendon drops for Major, kicks it over to Dowdy. Step back three ball from the left-hander. And it is perfect. Jessica Dowdy. She's got 5 3-pointers on the season through the first 2 games. That's her first tonight, and she buries it. Here's Brooks, left-hand side. Lob inside for Staton. Catch and finish, but nope, before the shot. Mismatch in size. The Saints switched on the screen there. Dowdy at 5'8" ended up trying to guard Chandler Brooks at 5'11", and it's not a good matchup for the Saints. The foul is not necessarily the worst thing that could happen. Force them to make the free throws instead of giving up an easy layup. Eagles created a 2-man game there, and once the Saints switched the screen, it was a mismatch in size. Staton knocks home the first free throw. She's averaging 7.5 points through the first 2 games of the season.
Staton with one more shot.
Too strong on that one. And last touched by, going to stay down here, must be the Eagles basketball. Last touch by the Saints. So the Eagles get 1 point on a free throw and now have the basketball. Chance for a 3-point trip down the floor. Not a 3-point play, but it could be a 3-point trip. Brooks out high, looking for Staton. They'll throw the lob to her. Drops it back for Hahn, turns the corner. Layup off the left side, no good. Rebound, stick back though, is good for Anya Staton. Another offensive rebound for Embry-Riddle and second chance point opportunity. Here's Reddick working inside. Out to McCormick. Dribble drive cross court. Back over to the far side to Reddick. Kicks it out to an open look. 3 is good. Destiny McClendon, that's good execution there. Take it inside. When the Eagles collapsed, the perimeter was wide open. Here comes a double team. Brooks gets away from it. Skips it to Napoli. Post feed inside to Brasco. Back to Napoli. Squares the 3 ball. Off the mark, no good. Rebound picked up by Brasco. Out to Kira Hahn, and they'll reset it to Chandler Brooks. Another offensive rebound for Embry-Riddle. There's Brasco. Pump fake, couldn't get it off quick enough. Kick it out for Napoli. She'll dribble and drop and try to get it back. It's deflected. That's deflected as well. And here come the Saints on a steal. And there's a bump at half court by Chandler Brooks. Saints getting multiple deflections on the defensive end. Fortunately, on the 3rd deflection of the trip, they finally got the steal. Eagles able to slow down the fast break. Chandler Brooks got a bump about 35 feet from the basket, which will slow the Saints down. 66-44 at the 2:22 mark. Double sixes, double fours, and triple twos on the scoreboard right now. If you're into numerology, you'd have a field day with that. Saints ball right there by where Coach Moe would sit if he sat. He hadn't been doing much of that tonight. Most head coaches barely take a seat. Dowdy with it against Napoli out between the circles. Drop for Norica. She'll turn and face. Back to Dowdy. Skip it back this way for Major. Try to attack the elbow. Couldn't get there. Uses the ball screen to create some space this time. Kicks it cross court. Shot clock at 5, 4. Floater off the right side. Nice move there by McCormick. Patience as the shot clock was winding down, and a high percentage shot on a diagonal cut from Sherelle McCormick. There's Brooks working against Dowdy. Looking cross court, nobody there yet. Now drops for Napoli, off a screen from Langeman. Trail it back for Hahn. It's an errant pass. The Eagles will chase it down, and then the Saints will end up with it. McClendon, and she'll lay it through. Good hustle by the Saints to get to it. Here's Napoli ahead of the pack for the Eagles. Nothing doing. She'll trail it back to Brooks. 66-48. Saints have run off 4 straight. Brooks against Dowdy out here in the midcourt area. Takes it inside for a floater and rattles it home. Nice job there by Chandler Brooks. Very strong at the point guard spot. And a mismatch in size oftentimes because she's 5'11". You don't see too many 5'11" point guards at the Division II level. Most point guards will not attack you and take you inside, but Brooks definitely will do that when she gets a mismatch in size. Seen it a couple times tonight. Loose ball out here in front of the Saints bench will be a held ball. Possession arrow favors Flagler, so they will keep it. Mop up the perspiration on the floor. Shot clock's on 30, and it should not be. Saints had the basketball, and when the offensive team retains the possession, there they go, reset it to 16. When you retain the possession on a held ball, you get what's left. You don't get a reset. Just took an extra second to get the shot clock cleared up. There's Major, trail it back to McCormick, looking inside. She's going to shoot the 3. In and out, no good. Rebound, last touch by Embry-Riddle. It'll stay with the Saints. Now that shot did hit the rim, so it's a reset, but it shouldn't be a full 30-second reset. It should actually be a 20-second reset right now. I feel like I'm a part-time shot clock operator. Here we go, and they get it to 20. Oh, now they get it to 3. That ball hit the rim. There, now they got it back to 20. Okay. 35.9 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock for the Saints. Into Garcia. Back to Dowdy for 3. In and out, no good, but the Saints rebound. Put back, no good again, unlucky. Rebound to Lori Satchel. Shot clock turned off now, so Embry-Riddle can hold it for the final possession if they choose to do so. Turpinning between the circles, working against Jasmine Major. 16 seconds to go third quarter. Here's Hahn. Throws it inside to Satchel. That's a dangerous pass, but last touch by Flagler. Little early for the Eagles to force that one in there. They dodge a bullet as the Saints knock it out of bounds. 10.7 for Embry-Riddle. Saints need to dig in on defense here and get one stop. Langeman spins, pump fake, gets fouled, and she'll shoot free throws here as she got Sherelle McCormick to bite on that pump fake. And Mary Langeman, the junior out of Imlay City, Michigan, will shoot 2 free throws here for Embry-Riddle. 7 seconds left in the third quarter, so after the free throws, the Saints will have some time. Langeman converts the first. She's got one more coming. 13-7 through the first 2 games of the season for Mary Langeman. And second free throw, no good. Rebound loose on the floor and knocked out of bounds. They'll say last touch by the Saints. 2.9 seconds ran off, so the Eagles have 4.1 to try to get a shot attempt here. Turpinning will trigger. Into Langeman, back to Turpinning, leans, and throws up a prayer that is no good, and I think it was after the horn expired anyway. And the Eagles didn't quite execute the game plan to perfection there. Took too much time, but nonetheless, they will take a 21-point lead to the fourth quarter here in St. Augustine. Saints came out swinging to start the second half, but the Eagles were able to rally and get this one back more than 20 points. It's 69-48. Embry-Riddle by 21 here over the Saints. We'll take a short timeout and be right back here in St. Augustine. Embry-Riddle 69, Saints 48. As we get ready to start the fourth quarter here in St. Augustine at the Flagler College Gymnasium, a couple stats stand out to me through three quarters. Total fouls, Saints 17, Embry-Riddle 5. 30 minutes of basketball, and Embry-Riddle's only committed 5 fouls tonight. It's an outstanding defensive effort by the Eagles without fouling. They've held the Saints to 48 points, and they lead it by 21. Turpinning leads Embry-Riddle with 16, and McClendon leads the Saints also with 16 points. Eagles ball first. They go to Satchel up high. Back for Madison Jean-Louis. Looks to drive against Dowdy. Stop and pop from the elbow is good. Nice move there. Got everybody going to the right, and then step back jumper from about 16 feet. Perfect for Madison Jean-Louis. Saints back the other way. Dribble and drop out here on the right-hand wing. Floater, too strong, no good. Satchel rebounds. It's a tough shot for McClendon. She was going full speed, and her momentum just carried that shot too hard because she was going so fast. Here's Turpinning for Jean-Louis. Post feed inside to Satchel. Kick it back out and around the horn. Kira Hahn's three. Off the mark, no good. Rebound, out of bounds. Will go to the Saints. Easier said than done on that last offensive possession for McClendon. When you're going so fast, instead of jumping forward, you almost have to try to stop and jump up to control your momentum. To kiss that one off the window softly. Hers went way too strong, way too hard. Here's Dowdy. Kicks cross court to Major. Back for McClendon. McCormick, pump fake over Mary Lengeman, no good. Garcia rebounds, back up and in. Nice job there by Maria Paula Garcia, the redshirt freshman from Columbia. Lengeman back out to Turpinning. High double ball screen, post feed into Satchel, leans and gets fouled. See if they say before the shot or if it's a shooting foul. It's on 23, Maria Paula Garcia.
Fouls on 23, Maria Paula Garcia.
And it looks like they're going to say it was in the act of shooting. And Satchel will get 2 shots.
She'll shoot 2.
First is good for Satchel. 2 for 3 on the night from the free throw line for Satchel. Left that one short, so now 2 out of 4. And here come the Saints. And that's going to be a foul on Madison Jean-Louis. Major brought the ball quickly front court and then slammed on the brakes. Maddie didn't see the brake lights come on and rear-ended her. Knocked her to the floor, and Saints will keep the basketball. Dane Bertolina triggers. Into the backcourt here to Major. Guarded tightly by Kira Hahn. Drops for Bertolina. Now McClendon, a long 3 ball, no good. Rebound Satchel. Satchel finds her point guard, Turpinning, who finds Hahn, who finds Lengeman. Out to Satchel. Back to Jean-Louis. Nice dribble drive, pump fake, and got her for a foul. Non-shooting foul, so the Eagles will have it underneath. Coach Wilson to the bench. 32 for 33. Staten in, Satchel out. $20 on the shot clock for the Eagles, 7:50 on the game clock. So the lob in, well executed inbounds play, but the Eagles couldn't convert it. Staten with a good catch, but couldn't finish it. There's a kickoff to Bertolina for 3. Release, rotation, and splash. That shot looked perfect.
Bertolina from downtown for the Saints.
Turpinning sets the offense for the Eagles. They go under the screen, so she'll shoot the 3. It's no good and knocked out of bounds by Madison John Louis. It'll go to the Saints. McClendon working here against John Louis. Tries to kick it cross court and Turpinning steals it. She's going to push 3-on-2. Drops for Langeman. Her shot is no good but a foul. Based on the body language, I think it's going to go on Dane Bertolina. And the referee puts up 5 fingers, and that is Bertolina's foul.
Fouls on number 5, Dane Bertolina. Stepping to the foul line for the Eagles is number 2.
Bertolina, one of 4 seniors on the roster for the Saints this year. McClendon, McCormick, Bertolina, and Reddick. Langeman's first free throw is good. Hasn't had a great night from the free throw line thus far. She's just 3 out of 7 with that make. 4 out of 8 sounds much better than 2 out of 6 before that trip down the floor. Kick it off right-hand side. 3 ball is good for Jessica Dowdy. Turpinning weaves her way through traffic, goes all the way coast to coast, looks for a helper, kicks it out. They find Langeman. She'll square up a 3, and it's good for Mary. Oh, foot on the line, just a 2-pointer. Just a 2 for Langeman. Toes on the line that time. Picked up by the Saints far side. They'll work baseline to the basket, no good. Rebound to the Eagles. Turpinning pushing. Got John Louis ahead of the pack. She'll take it in herself. Tried to draw the foul, didn't do it. Here come the Saints. Good look from Bertolina for Dowdy. Trails it back, and nicely done there. Sherelle McCormick finishes it. Good look from Bertolina. Better decision by Dowdy. And an easy layup there for the Saints. The deficit is 18. Here's John Louis. A lot of dribbling down the paint for a floater. Off the mark. It's her own rebound, though. Back up, off the mark again. Stick back off the mark again. And this time the Saints finally corral it. 3 shots inside 5 feet for the Eagles. None went in. Bertolina thought about jacking up a long triple, but passed it up. Here's Dowdy off a screen. Back to Bertolina, left-hand wing. She works against Madison John Louis. 18-footer on the way is good for Jasmine Major. Nice patience there by the Saints. That was a good offensive set. Passed up some open looks, which weren't great looks. Open isn't always an invitation to shoot. That shot that they took was a much better and much more high percentage shot, and the Saints convert to make it a 16-point game. 76-60. The Saints trying to rally from a big deficit here. The largest lead for Embry-Riddle has been 25 when it was 66-41. So the Saints have scored 19 since that point. The Eagles have only scored 10. So from 25 to 16 is a nice little chunk that they've cut away. Time is running short, but I think at the same time the Saints are still early in the year, and even if you can't rally from 25 down, there's a lot to be gained coaching and growing in these final 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this game's over and they should quit, but at the same time, just because you're down 16 doesn't mean you can't be teaching and coaching and trying to improve your game. The second half has been much better than the first, and as the Saints head towards conference play, every step closer to that gelled team and that synergy of the team working together is a step closer to what you're looking for when we get into that Peach Belt Conference action. .5:13 to play, almost midway through the fourth quarter. The next dead ball after the 5-minute mark will be a media timeout. So we'll have another timeout coming up here relatively quickly. Saints will send out Bertolina along with Garcia, Major, McClendon, and McCormick. That's the 5 on the court for the Saints. Again, full court man-to-man pressure. Point guard's got it for the Eagles, and here comes a double team. They'll come to John Louis. She'll go corner to Brasco. Skip it back to the point guard to get into their half court. Back to Brasco, left wing. Post feed into Staten, over to Napoli, and back out. Shot clock on 10. Bertolina guards Brooks. Takes it in, floats it up, no good, gets her own rebound. Needs to kick it out or do something, and she'll get a held ball. Possession arrow to the Saints. Shot clock was down to 3. So the Eagles were going to be in trouble anyway. And the held ball gives the ball to the Saints with 4:45 to play. Major trapped at the elbow. Out to Bertolina. Working against John Louis. They switch it. She'll work here now. Back over to Major. Kick it off Bertolina. Left side. Open for 3. Off the mark. No good. That one looked good when it left her hand, but Napoli rebounds for the Eagles. Brooks. Here comes the double team by the Saints. Throws it in to Staten. Throws it back door to Napoli. Pump fake, goes up and sticks it home. Nice move by Sarah Napoli. Timber Creek High School out of Orlando. Heady veteran play right there. Bertolina gathers and hands it to McClendon. And little ride there from Alyssa Brasco. You know, in the college game, basically once you put 2 hands on the offensive player as a defensive player, most of the time you're going to get called for a foul. And Brasco kind of rode her along a little bit with both arms extended. Non-shooting foul, so the Saints will have it on the baseline. Kick it to the corner for 3. Off the mark, unfortunately, and the Eagles rebound it. Under 4 to play, 78-60. Brooks works against Bertolina. Gets a good screen out high to create some space. Behind the back move by Brooks, kicks to Napoli. Catch and shoot 3. Oh, and she knocks it down. A quick catch and shoot for Napoli to knock it home. She's got 5 straight. Major comes from right side to left. Now she works against Brooks. Corner to McClendon. Spins past Brasco, but blocked from the help side. But they'll say enough body contact was made by Anya Staten that there will be a foul. Actually, they called the foul on Alyssa Brasco, not on Staten. 14. Brasco, the Bishop Moore graduate.
Fouls on number 14, Alyssa Brasco. Destiny McClendon with a foul line.
McClendon's first free throw is good. One more coming. She hits them both. She's got 18 to lead the Saints. Brooks will push quickly. She finds Kira Hahn on the near side. Back to Brooks to run the half court. High post, Satchel. Cut through, cut across. Look for Brasco. Skip it to Napoli. Satchel. Screen and roll, up strong, sticks it home. Nice footwork, nice pump fake. Lori Satchel converts, then goes back and plays defense, but not enough for McCormick to score back for the Saints. Under 3 minutes, the Eagles lead it by 19. Brooks splits 2 defenders on the drive, finds it off for Brasco, attacks Bertolina, and sticks it home from the left side. Good move there by Alyssa Brasco. She is left-handed, so a little bit easier for her to score coming from the left side. Major, good crossover and kick. They swing it back right side. 3-point attempt on the way. Short, no good. Rebound to Embry-Riddle. Good look that time by McCormick, just left it a little short. Legs might be getting a little heavy here, 38 minutes into the ball game. Brooks for Napoli. Back to Satchel. Ooh, she got karate chopped there by Garcia. Tried to reach in and get the ball away and got her pretty good with a left-hand poke. Couple subs at the table here. For the Eagles, it's Ashley Woodfin, redshirt junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And for the Saints, it's Lainey Norica, the redshirt sophomore from Newville, Pennsylvania.
Stepping the foul line for the Eagles will be number 33, Lori
off the mark for Satchel. Just 2 out of 5 tonight from the free throw line. She's got 8 points and 7 rebounds. Also has 3 steals. Had a chance to go to double figures if she could have hit both. She does hit one, so she'll go to 9 points, and then she'll check out. Satchel out for Alyssa Torgerson to see her first action. Torgerson, a first-year player. She's a junior transfer. Comes to Embry-Riddle from Burnsville, Minnesota. 86-64, Embry-Riddle over Flagler. Here's Bertolina. Drops it off here for Major. Dribble and split, and a steal by Kira Hahn. And we got a travel. Hahn caught the ball at full speed, and Bertolina was waiting right there to steal it from her. And Hahn didn't want to run her over, didn't want to get her pocket picked, and unfortunately she caught the ball and took a couple steps and gives it right back to the Saints. First I thought we were going to have a head-on collision, so that travel was probably the better solution than those two players running into one another at full speed. 3-point attempt by the Saints, no good. Norika gets a rebound, kicks it out for another 3. That one's also no good. And good hustle. Oh, it looked like the Saints, Abby Smith, hustled to the corner and slapped it off of Alyssa Brasco's thigh. And referee's going to get together here, and we might have one of the referees overrule the other. But we don't. It looked to me, unless Abby Smith had her foot on the baseline, which she may have, looked like she slapped it off the Embry-Riddle player. But it'll be Eagles basketball. Into Brooks with 1:31 to go. It's hard to watch the ball and the feet, but the referees usually do a pretty good job of that. Here's Brooks, backdoor cut for John Louis. Catches to a double team, leads to look and kick it out. She does to Woodfin. Jumper from 15, and we got a 3-second violation. Madison John Louis got tied up in the paint, then was able to kick the ball out. All good, except she stayed in the paint the entire time after she kicked the ball out and got called for the 3-second violation. Probably the right call. 1:15 to play as the Saints come front court. McClendon, a pump fake and drive. Kick it off to Abby Smith. She'll kick far side. Swing it one more. Extra pass. Nicely done. 3-ball good. That's about as good as you can do it right there. Jasmine Major knocks down the 3. And then a little bit too tight on the defense against Chandler Brooks. She's called for a foul in the backcourt. But I tell you what, that offensive set was outstanding. A diagonal penetration drive from the near side. Kick to the left-hand baseline. And then the extra pass to the left wing for an open look from 3. And they're going to watch that on film tomorrow, and Coach Mo is going to give them 2 thumbs up for that play right there. Need to see more of that for the Saints next time out. Free throw attempt by Chandler Brooks is up and through. Sophomore out of Charlotte. And the left-hander in and out on the second one, and no good. Rebound knocked out by Torgerson. It'll be Saints ball. 87-67, Embry-Riddle by 20 with 56 seconds to go here in the basketball game. Eagles going to win this one over the Saints tonight here on the Saints home floor. But the Saints are back in action on Saturday against Florida Tech. 3-pointer far side, too strong. Rebound picked up by Abby Smith. Around the perimeter, down the paint for a floater. Nicely done. Destiny McClendon takes it to the basket, floats and finishes. Here's Brooks with a Torgerson screen. And Torgerson was set, and right as the player for the Saints got close to her, she kind of initiated the contact a little bit. I think she just didn't want to get run into at full speed, but she started going a little bit forward herself and got called for the moving screen, and the ball's turned over to the Saints. Quick catch and shoot from the elbow for Lainey Norika. And the Saints have cut it to 16 once again. Shot clock's turned off. Coach Mo says no fouls. And the Eagles can run it out if they choose to do so. And they throw a lob to Torgerson, and she's held as she set the screen and then rolled down the paint. She was fouled by Norika, and she'll have a chance to put her name into the scorebook tonight.
Alyssa Torgerson to the foul line for the Eagles.
And Torgerson does make the first free throw. Only played 1 minute in the first 2 games. She did hit a field goal, so she has 2 points on the season and has 2 free throws tonight. So she's doubled her point total, and it's 89-71. One last shot here for the Saints, or at least one last possession. Smith, Norika, swinging around, good ball movement, good look, 3 ball, off the mark unfortunately, and the Eagles will rebound it. Madison John Louis controls the last rebound, and that will do it here in St. Augustine. 89-71 the final. Embry-Riddle wins it over the Saints. Eagles by 18 as the Saints fall to 1-2. The Eagles improve to 3-0 on the season. For Embry-Riddle, leading scorer was Kaylee Turpinning with 16. Napoli had 14, and Anya Staten also had 14 for Embry-Riddle. 3 in double figures, but also 3 players with 9. Kira Hahn with 9, Lori Satchel with 9, and Alyssa Brasco with 9. Turpinning led the team in assists with 7, and Satchel led the team in rebounding with 7 as well. For Flagler, the leading scorer was Destiny McClendon with 20. McCormick had 16. That's the only 2 in double figures. 3 players had 5 rebounds for the Saints. Major, Norika, and Grimm all share team high honors in rebounds. And in assists, Major and Dowdy each had 4. Embry-Riddle shot 48%, 31 for 64 overall, 6 out of 20 from 3. The Saints were 30 out of 69 from the field, and they definitely improved their three-point shooting. They finished 7 of 29 after starting the game 1 for 13. So a strong finish for the Saints from the three-point area and a good second half, but they fell behind a little too much too early, and it was too much Embry-Riddle, and quite honestly, a little too much Kaylee Turpinning. She was outstanding tonight. The point guard for Embry-Riddle was the difference maker in tonight's game. She led the team with 16 points. She also had 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and managed the team incredibly well from the quarterback position. Final score again, 89-71. Embry-Riddle over Flagler. Saints are next back in here in action on Saturday afternoon, right here at Clark Family Court. That game is scheduled for a 2 p.m. start. It'll be Saints and Panthers. Florida Tech comes to town on Saturday. Hope to see you then here at the Clark Family Court or online here on the Peach Belt Digital Network. I'm John Phillips. Good night from St. Augustine. We'll see you next time here in Saints basketball.